Thank you, everybody, and welcome to the regular monthly meeting, first regular monthly meeting of Mayor and Council being held in Borough Hall Monday, February 23rd, 13th, 2023, starting at 6:32. Missy, could you please call the roll?
Mayor Nunziato,
Here.
Councilman Coakley,
Here.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Present.
Councilman Big Roberson, Councilman Guzman,
Here.
Councilman Delroy Cohn,
Here.
Councilwoman Quattrone.
Thank you. If you're willing and able, could you please stand for the salute to the flag? Thank you, everybody. Missy, could you please read the provisions?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, notice of this meeting was transmitted to the Record and Herald News and filed with the Borough Clerk on December 21st, 2022, and is posted on the bulletin board outside of Borough Hall.
Thank you, Missy. Seeing that we have no presentations, we're going to move to the Borough Engineers Report. Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. We're happy to report that there is a contractor for the ADA bathrooms at Tamlin. Am I in? Okay, thank you. Tamlin Field ADA bathrooms, we have a contractor through Bergen County Co-op that the borough is going to review and hopefully approve tonight. The same with the ADA accessibility at Borough Hall, which will be on the north side of Borough Hall to get a direct access in instead of using the stair lift. So that is going forward. And that was approved by Bergen County CDBG in terms of their environmental review on Friday, so that can go forward. The work on Union Avenue, the ramps are done. We had some drainage issues that we worked out at Chestnut and Home. They're done, and so we are anticipating that the county has no more impediment to paving Union Avenue from the Circle to the Passaic River. Before that gets done, recommending that we do a televising and cleaning of all the sanitary lines along Union Avenue, so if there's some that need to be repaired, we can take care of that before the county paves Union Avenue. We have grant applications in. The Van Winkle storm line was repaired over on the park, and I believe that's where we are with the project, and we're closing out Clara's Tunnel with the DOT side so that the borough can get their money for the Transit Village grant. So that's we're working through that as well.
Any questions for Brian from the council? Seeing none. Thank you, Brian. Any changes to the agenda, Miss?
Yes, on page 2, under Finance Consent, we'll be adding an additional payment of bills. On page 3, under Finance, we'll be adding item B, resolution number 71, authorizing the emergency temporary appropriations. Also on page 3, we'll be adding item C under Finance, resolution number 72, award of Bergen County Co-op contract for Tamlin Field handicap accessible bathroom fixtures. And on page 3 under Police, resolution 63 had a typo, so we're correcting that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anybody from the council have any changes to the agenda? Seeing none. Roll, please.
Motion?
Sorry, motion.
Motion?
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, now may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilman Delroy Cohn?
Yes.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to the hearing of citizens. Anybody wishing to speak, please step forward to the microphone. Keep your comments to 5 minutes or less, and please state your name and address. Thank you.
That better? Repeat it all? Okay. Uh, Anyhow, despite all the reporting this month on Black History Month, none of those reports bothered to mention that New Jersey, and not Texas, was the last state in the Union to end slavery. That happened in 1866, a full 3 years after Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, and 7 months after the Juneteenth date that was chosen by some self-interested revisionists. The country will never be or achieve any kind of racial harmony or acceptance or tolerance as long as these revisionists control the agenda. So that has to be dealt with. And as for tonight's Sanzari resolution, we already have a handicapped accessible side entrance to Borough Hall adjacent to the parking lot. The resolution needs to be tabled until the public has been given an opportunity to review and comment on the council's plan that would be spending about $100,000 on ramps and walls, landings, sidewalks, railings, excavation, and a new $12,000 door. At this point, the plan looks more like a misguided waste of taxpayer money that will only benefit the bottom line of State Senator Paul Sarlo's construction company. And I've heard that we've already had some approval from the county to do this, but it seems to be in the wrong direction. And if it's going to be on the north side, it's going to mean that people are going to have to either use their walkers or their wheelchairs, park in the parking lot, go up to Park Avenue, cross the front of the building in Park Avenue, and then go down that side to whatever construction is being conceived here. And that, to me, that makes it less than ADA acceptable when you can do something right here, right underneath us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zura. Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? I see some new people have walked in. Do they want to address the council? Thank you. We're going to close it now to the public and open up for any council comments. Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. As always, thank you, Mr. Zora, for your comments. We appreciate you being here with us and sharing your thoughts. Respectfully, this is my 9th year on this council. 8 years ago, we began Access for All. We talked about making this community more accessible for all of its residents. The very essence of that would be the location of which business is conducted with our business administrator or our borough clerk, or quite frankly, most of the meetings that we hold are in this building. I have been here when members of our community have been stuck on what you referred to as an appropriate measure for the inclusion of individuals with disabilities. Respectfully, I could not disagree more. This is a long, long time coming. I am so thankful that we are finally addressing what I think has been an impediment to this building, which is the ability for every resident to be able to access it appropriately and safely. And I'd like to take this moment, Mayor, to thank our borough administrator, thank our borough engineer for their work on this. This has been several years in the making. I am grateful that we've been able to work with the county to offset costs, and most importantly, I'm grateful that we're doing the work that we were asked to do when we sit here and we represent our colleagues and other members of this community. So thank you for your kind words. Mayor, I just want to thank my colleagues sitting at this dais for their continued commitment to the Access for All movement, and most importantly, for the inclusion of all abled people in this borough. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Anybody else from the council wishing to speak? Seeing none. Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to move the regular meeting minutes of January 23rd, 2023. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen. Miss?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan? Yes. Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, I'd like to move the consent agenda. All items authorized to be consent by the council will be enacted by one motion. These items are routine in nature. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. Under Finance, first, I'd like to move Resolution Number 69, authorizing the CY 2022 appropriation transfers. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan? Yes. Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to move, bless you. Next, I'd like to move Resolution Number 71, resolution authorizing the emergency temporary appropriations. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to award the Bergen County Co-op contract for Tamblin Field for the handicap accessible bathroom fixtures. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments?
Mayor, just for the record, that's Resolution Number 72.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan? Yes. Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Mayor, under my liaison assignments, this week's planning board meeting has been canceled due to no agenda. Our next meeting will be in March, and I am excited that many of our my agenda and liaison assignments will be appointed this evening, and in advance, I'd like to congratulate all of the newest members who will be joining us. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. Councilman, please.
Thank you very much, Mayor. First up, I'd like to move resolution resolution number 62-2023, resolution authorizing the hiring of entry-level law enforcement officers pursuant to NJSA 11A:4-1-3. Motion.
Can you repeat that? Motion by Councilman Guzman. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you. Next up, I'd like to move resolution authorizing payout of accrued time upon retirement for Detective Alfred Anderson. This is resolution number 63. Motion.
Motion by Councilman Guzman. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? May I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on, I have under OEM, I'd like to move resolution of reappointing Michael Tarantino to position of Office of Emergency Management Coordinator. This is resolution number 65. Motion.
Motion by Councilman Guzman. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. We're going to move on to Public Works. Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything specific to Public Works, but I do have a few items for my other liaison assignments. First, I just want to remind the residents about the Anchor program that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. That is a program that provides both renters and homeowners the opportunity to get a tax rebate from the state. There's information under the tax collector section of our website. You also can contact Bernadette Finelli. But if you haven't done that yet, I urge you to take a look and make sure that you know whether or not you qualify. That deadline for applying for that benefit expires on February 28th. So we have a little time left to do it. With regards to the Civil Rights Commission, the new commissioners, I should say, have been appointed, and the first full meeting is going to take place this Wednesday at 6:30, I believe we start. So if anyone would like to attend, that's going to be a fully in-person meeting during which they will also appoint their officers. The Civil Rights Commission has some really great ideas for this coming year, in addition to the Multicultural Festival. So I think it's an exciting time for that commission. The Green Team continues to astound me with all of their ideas for things that we can do to benefit our town. And something that has been recently discussed is the bike rodeo, which I think has been something that's been great for the children of the town. We basically use a professional entity to come in and help children learn both how to ride bikes, but how to ride bikes safely. I'm making my pitch now that we would love to find some sponsors for that programming for the Green Team. It is not a without cost proposition for the Green Team to get that together. So just think about whether you can find a way to help contribute, or if you know anyone with that expertise, feel free to reach out to me. Finally, I just wanted to thank the department heads. I continue to do my little Christy Del Rey tour to try to learn everything I can about the borough, and everyone has been super generous with me with their time. Most recently, I met with Missy, our borough clerk. I met with Chief Russo. I met with the rec department, who I'd like to remind you is just 3 people doing a lot of work. I also met today with our chief financial officer. So I mentioned that just to let you know that it is a really strong team here working under our borough administrator, and I urge you to familiarize yourself with all that they do for us. I certainly was remiss in not understanding that until I took office. And finally, I just wanted to thank the Volunteer Ambulance Corps, the Irish American Association, and the Rutherford Junior Football League, who have all hosted various members of the council at their events in the past weeks. Again, as the rookie, as I call myself, it's really nice to be able to go to all of these events and understand the ways in which our volunteers really are pushing our community forward. That's all for me.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Fire, Councilman Cogley?
Thank you, sir. Just nothing to report on fire this evening. I just want to tout, there's about 48 hours left to submit for the Youth Art Banner Program. You can do that through Rec Desk. It is $60. You do end up being able to keep the banner when they come down at the start of Memorial Day. This is just a wonderful celebration of our local youth and their creativity. I myself usually submit for each of my 3 children. So please, about 48 hours to go. Submit. You can take an iPhone picture of the sculpture, of the Play-Doh mold, whatever the case may be, and we will make it work within the templates. So please remind your nieces and nephews and grandchildren, whomever is in your family who has put anything on a fridge with a magnet, feel free to submit. It all counts. Thank you.
Thank you. Council President, you're going to fill in for our missing council members as they have some very important other obligations they must deal with.
Thank you, Mayor. Under Buildings, Grounds, and Public Utilities, first, I'd like to move to accept the resignation of Anthony Hackett effective February 17, 2023. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Del Rey Cohn. Any questions or comments by the council? I would just like to add that Mr. Hackett has been a very important piece of our building department, and I know that Bob's going to be missing him. Missy?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohn?
Yes.
Thank you. Next is Resolution Number 70, to award of Bergen County Co-op contract for the handicap ramp installation at Borough Hall. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you. Next is Resolution Number 68, the award of contract to provide monthly pest control services at various borough properties. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you. Keep going.
Thank you, Mayor. Under Recreation and Human Resources, Resolution Number 64, approving the recreation program fees for 2023. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments? Seeing none?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Next is Resolution Number 67, approving independent contractor rates for 2023. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Under Community Events, authorizing the Michael Cassidy Shamrock and Run, March 11, 2023. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council? Missy?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Next is to authorize Pride Fest, June 3rd, 2023, with flag raising at 11 o'clock, an event in Lincoln Park, rain date 6/4, with street closure of Highland Cross and Lincoln Avenue from Park Avenue to Highland Cross. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Del Rey Cohen. Any questions or comments?
Mayor, can I just want to highlight the fact that we're doing this. And I just, in lieu of my recent comments, the importance of inclusion, building a community that supports inclusion of all of its residents. And I'm just grateful that we have residents who are willing to continue to find ways to include others. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Missy?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Finally, to authorize the Borough Block Party Policy. Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council?
Mayor, can we just ask the Borough Administrator to just give a few words about the importance of why we're moving this policy forward?
Thank you, Council President. So we've started to get an influx over the last year or so of requests. So we wanted to create a little bit of a more formal policy with regards to the roles of the residents that are requesting the block party, the impact on their neighbors, the impact on the borough departments that would be assisting or reviewing the application process. There is a little bit of work done on the borough end, so this policy does create some fees, an application fee and some barricade fees. But we want to make sure that the policy, the policy for a block party is more to celebrate the community, and we want to promote that. The policy or what had been happening is requests, using the borough right away as a party venue for private parties, and that's not what we believe a block party within our community, within our streets should be. We want everyone or the neighborhoods that are participating in this event to be willing participants and to enjoy the festivities as much as possible. So it's twofold: one, to promote community, and one, just to kind of create a more formal process within the borough departments.
Thank you.
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Delray Cone.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to my agenda now. I'd ask for council consent for resolution number 60, supporting a call to assist residents affected by the Teterboro Airport flight path.
Motion.
Motion by Council President, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Delray Cone.
Yes.
Next up, I have the meeting date change for the February 27th, 23 meeting to February 28th, 23 at 6:30 PM. I'd ask for council consent.
Motion.
Motion by Council President, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, I'm the one that asked for this changed. I will be down at my daughter's school in Florida with my father, who I finally got to leave the state in about 8 years, at 91 years old. So I apologize for asking for the move, but I appreciate the support. Thank you, everybody.
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Delray Cone.
Yes.
I have nothing on my liaison assignments for tonight. I do have some appointments. Glenn Gareppa and Sean Taylor, Park Rangers, effective February 14th, 2023. I'd ask for council consent.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Delray Cone. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan, Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Delray Cone.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I have Liga Jaquez, alternate traffic guard, effective February 14, 2023, in accordance with the rules and regulations of the State of New Jersey Civil Service Commission. I'd ask for council consent. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Delray Cone.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I have some committee reports, appointments, but I did make a mistake, so I would like to break out a few things here that Missy's brought to my attention. I'll start with the ones that need appointment as opposed to the committees. Access for All, I'd ask for council consent. Nicole Yurchik for the unexpired term till 12/31/23. Lena Merrill, a one-year term as well. Margaret Madero, to full appointment 12/31/2025. Denise Sabo, full term 12/31/2025. I'd ask for council consent.
Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Delray Cone.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I have the Board of Adjustment. Greg Tardif, four-year term, 12/31/2026. I'd ask for council consent.
Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman, you guys are throwing me off. Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan, Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Delray Cone.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I have the Local Assistance Board, a one-year term, Margaret Scanlon, 12/31/2023. Debbie O'Neill, two-year term, 12/31/2024. I'd ask for council consent.
Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Delray Cone.
Yes.
Thank you. Finally, on the boards, Rent Board, Nick Cirillo, 12/31/2023. I'd ask for council consent.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Delray Cone. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
The last item I have is the committee appointments, which they're not required to be read. I'd ask for council consent.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Coakley. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll move on to ordinances now. Ordinances on first reading. Council President McGowan.
On first reading this evening, alcoholic beverages in the theater district regulations. Missy, can you please read the ordinance by title only?
In order to amend and revise Chapter 7 entitled Alcoholic Beverages of the Borough Code of the Borough of Rutherford.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to move that the ordinance be passed on first reading and advertised according to law.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to move on to Public Works. Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
For first reading, an ordinance regarding the renewal of military banner program. For anyone that hasn't had a chance to read it, this update to the ordinance just changes the fee and also provides for an annual renewal policy. The military banners allow residents to honor veterans by purchasing a banner that is hung on Park Avenue and elsewhere throughout town. Missy, can you read the ordinance by title only?
In order to amend and revise Chapter 61-6.2 Municipal Military Banner Program of the Borough Code of the Borough of Rutherford.
Motion?
Motion by Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes. The next ordinance for first reading under Public Works is regarding the amendment of fees for additional trash containers, and that is the only change to that ordinance, is the amendment of fees. Missy, if you could read the ordinance by title only.
In order to amend and revise Chapter 40 Garbage, Rubbish, and Refuse of the Borough Code of the Borough of Rutherford.
Motion?
Motion by Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council?
Mayor, just for clarification, all of these first ordinances will be advertised according to law appropriately.
Thank you. Anybody else? Missy?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you. And good job for your first ring on this one. Councilman Guzman.
Thank you, Mayor. First up, I have, hold on, sorry about that.
See, Chris, you're doing better than him.
First up, I have, this ordinance is to repeal handicap space 428 Park Avenue, 25th Highland Crossing, 250 Ridge Road. Missy, can you please read the ordinance by title only?
In order to amend and revise Chapter 126 Vehicles and Traffic of the Borough Code of the Borough of Rutherford.
Thank you. I'd like to make motion to move the ordinance be passed on first reading and advertised according to law.
Motion by Councilman Guzman. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilwoman McGowan,
Yes.
Councilman Guzman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Yes.
Ordinance is on second read. Councilman Guzman.
Thank you very much, Mayor. This second read is a repeal of handicapped parking space at 3 Air Place. Missy, can you please read the ordinance by title only?
An ordinance to amend and revise Chapter 126 Vehicles and Traffic of the Borough Code of the Borough of Rutherford.
Motion to move the ordinance be passed in second reading and advertised according to law.
Motion by Councilman Guzman. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President. At this time, I'm now going to open up this subject and this subject matter only to the public. If anybody feels they'd like to speak, please step to the microphone, keep your comments to 5 minutes or less, and please state your name and address. Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the public and open up for any council comment. Seeing none, Missy, may I have a roll?
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilman Delroy Cohen?
Yes.
Thank you. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Council President. All in favor?
Aye.
Have a great night, everybody.